Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Feargiveness frequency, where today we are going to tap into cards, colors, and conscious co creation and connection. And the month of November brings us so many opportunities of all of that. The Feargiveness frequency is a frequency of healing where you get to sit within your center, tap into your own soul blueprint, and really heal inside, outside, upside, and down using self love, self acceptance, self forgiveness, and gratitude. And when we pour all of that, we pour it into ourselves and we expand our awareness within colors and how colors and vibrations and frequencies all help and aid in our healing process. Our the possibilities of healing are infinite. And that is where our Feargiveness infinity loop comes in. I'm Julie Schindler. I'm the founder of the Feargiveness frequency. I'm an intuitive medium and I'm an Akashic Reiki master. And I love the Akashic records and how it can connect us directly with those powwows with the divine father and mother. And that is what has really driven my journey in healing for the past 4 or 5 years. And though I don't have my neck brace on right now because we have done some recent traveling and my skull is a little bruised, I have lived horizontally for the last 12 years and just celebrated that 12 year. I don't know if it's a celebration, but it definitely is a milestone. But a few years ago, I was on palliative care and I was really planning the end of my life because there was no succession plan off of it. And I started to receive these pops of color within my vision, within my heart that would that really guided me on this healing journey. And I would follow these pops of color. And the first one came while I was writing my eulogy, and it brought me gratitude that everything in it was just a letter, a prayer and a praise of gratitude for all of those in my life that had got me to this point. And when I was asked to share it now, the moment I shared that information and kind of changed my eulogy into a thank you note to the world, a new pop of color would come in. And so I just started filling up my infinity loop with color. And that brought us to the Feargiveness frequency, this frequency of healing that is directly allows you to co-create and have a conscious connection and these powwows with the divine father and mother. And that's why I've just been guided to be in the center, to help others find their center. And when you connect with the Feargiveness frequency, I'll show you this is what it looks like for you. Here you are in the center of your soul blueprint. And in the beginning, our soul blueprints have holes and tears within its infinity loop of where our energy and our soul blueprint may be leaking out. And that could be due to past trauma, insecurities, shame and blame. It could be gestational trauma, ancestral trauma. But when we sit in the center and we allow ourselves the stillness and connection to God's source creator and the divine mother, when you allow that connection to permeate within your frequency and raise your frequency, you start to fill in those holes and tears through self-love, through self-acceptance, through inner child work, through gratitude, through self-forgiveness. This journey is not about anyone else but you. But when you sit in that center and you allow that those traumas or insecurities or triggers, your trash can of all of that to flow through you, you will learn how, through the tips and tricks of the Feargiveness frequency and using color, so they don't knock you out of center. They're not a punch in the gut of a trigger anymore. That they become a pop of color and a new way to heal, and showing you what to upcycle so you're never having to recycle it again. And as you continue to find ways to sit in your center through meditation, mindfulness, music, muscle movement, journaling, breath work, grounding, all of the be jamming sessions that are within the Feargiveness frequency. Those moments in your center strengthen your ability to stay there. And they also propel you up and down. So, all the way up to the Divine Father, all the way down to the Divine Mother. And then you're in this powwow. You are that conscious co creation and connection. So, they get to have a conversation with you. And you get to be a part of what's that information and that conscious leadership and that just the consciousness that's flowing through your center. And they show you how to truly ultimately upcycle and heal anything and everything. And that's when the miracles start to happen. I wouldn't be sitting here this year, 4 years later, after the Feargiveness frequency, almost 5 years later, after the Feargiveness frequency has begun, if it wasn't for following these pops of color. And so, as we jump into the month of November, and everything that's supporting this month of the 1111 portal, the veil being so thin, this transition of and unity that we are coming back to our center. And we're also merging the masculine and feminine. We're merging this divine union, this sacred marriage. And as we continue to lean in to all that this month of November has in store for us. Wow, there is so many possibilities for expansion, for new awareness, for new gifts to be coming online, to purge, to clear, cleanse, purify, alchemize, transmute, transcend anything that's in our life that no longer is serving our highest good. So as we started, we tried to do this a little bit earlier, and we pulled the colors for the month of November. We have one color for the month and then one for each week of the month. And then those will also have hugs to go with them. So they will have Akashic Reiki hugs that will follow them throughout the month. But our color for the month is pink. So this is the let love in, and it's so needed right now. There were so many fears and anxieties that you can feel within the collective as we entered into the month of November. And now we need to find a way back to each other. We need to find a way back to our center and unity and oneness. And this is the color to do it. And this color is going to be showing up in so many different ways, not only for how we can help the collective and how we can bring more love into our life, but this is also showing us areas of our life will start to come up where we need to give love to ourselves, where we need to extend self-love and self-acceptance and just love ourselves by resting when we need to rest. Love ourselves by the sips and tricks that we put into our body, what we allow in, loving ourselves for having a voice, for standing up for ourselves. This is going to be not only in our self-love, but it's also going to show up in relationships. It's going to show up in family dynamics. It's going to show up in the collective and in the community. And when we continue to pour gratitude into our heart and being grateful for what this month is showing us, and the gifts that are coming through from the Divine Father and Mother, the more we can pour that, live in a heart of gratitude, love expands. So when we are having a hard time finding love, or we don't know why love hasn't found us, this is the opportunity to really look at, we can't love another until we love ourselves. And we won't allow another to love us fully until we love ourselves. So this whole month is going to be bringing through this love. And it also brings us to the awareness, and the expansion of the multidimensional chakras, where we go beyond the 7 energy centers and chakras into the morphogenetic fields, where the antiparticle, where our manifestations are brought into blueprints that then are brought into matter. So the high heart is the first extended chakra that has come online over the last couple of years for many, but I'm being shown there's a frequency match for that high heart coming back through for a next round of activation. So that is that crystal chest plate, crystal with a K. So that crystal, as all of the different colors of the chest plate and rubies and gems start to come online, the morphogenetic fields are sound and color, and they expand beyond energy centers. They are what are creating our blueprint. They hold their layers and layers and layers that extend us as above, so below, as within, so without. So the month of November, wow, for this color to show up as our color for the month, it really shows us when we enter into December, we are going to be completely different uh, souls. And we are going to have so much more expansion. And there's ancient wisdom and galactical wisdom and advanced wisdom that is all coming through when we tap into love. And this also shows on a collective level how this is love is what brings us back together. Love is what merges us back into one. Love is what really brings forth that community and connection and that conscious co-creation of the new earth that we are. There's so much power to that. I could probably talk for hours about that one. The next color for the first week of November is apricot. And this is asking us to rejoice and laugh. And this is telling us to celebrate how far we've come and to celebrate our journey up to this point, to find the joy in it, to allow our inner child to lead the way and to bring forth this is like laughter, like your belly hurts, and that you're not only are you finding that within, and you are surrounding yourself with those that truly are a frequency match for you. And when you get into those frequency matches, you are giddy and you are rejoicing of the connection that you've brought together. You're just having so much fun. You're living in the moment and you're celebrating all of the steps along the way that have brought you there. So that first week of the month of November is about a celebration and rejoice. Once we get through the anxiety and fear that has really that brings us in that I can feel it in the very beginning of the week. But then when we get past that, no, we will find the joy, and we will find the laughter, and we will regroup, reassess, and come back together, because we have to stay connected in love and unity for us to continue to co-create what's moving forward. And we're going to need that, because the 1111 portal is huge energy. And if we're not ready for it, or if we are unfocused, or our mind is somewhere else, we are going to miss a major opportunity. And you may be blindsided by things coming in the second and third weeks of the month if we're not letting go of it all, finding ourselves in rejoice and laughter and having fun and putting ourselves back into that innocenceness of our inner child, and allowing ourselves to receive. Because as we step into week 2, which is violet. And I'm sorry, week 2, which is violet. And our week 2, which takes us into creating a balanced life. And this is the week of the 1111 portal. And so the 1111 portal is not only going to be giving us downloads and expansion and connection for those who are already in the highest timeline. at the highest level of the highest timeline, the highest frequency. For those who are just coming online and are just kind of like, whoa, this energy is massive. What do I do with it? These pillars of the violet flame is going to, and the 1111 portal, you can kind of see, I can see the 1111 represented in here, but the violet flame is where we send all of that needs to be transmuted, that is brought forth in our center, that shows us where we're ready to let go, we're ready to heal. And having the violet flame at our disposal and tapping into this color whenever we need to let something go, whenever we are knocked out of center, we can fill ourselves with this color. We can sip it, we can wear it, we can meditate on it, bring it forth, because its vibration and frequency takes us all the way up to our crown chakra, which expands our conscious co-creation and connection and our powwow, and allows us to let it go, to heal it, to give self-forgiveness to ourselves. I hear the Oponopono, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, and let it go. What used to take weeks and days are now taking minutes and moments to heal. So we may have sat with something within the violet flame a few years ago that would take us days to weeks to even months to let this one thing go. And now we're into minutes and moments when we embrace the co-creation that we have, the abilities that we have to connect to the divine father and mother, source, God, co-creator, whatever that connection is for you, but tapping into it and using the violet flame. This is a big one, and this has a lot of energy around it, but there's also energy of uh, newness, expansion, and setting you up for what you are going to, your successes for the next year. All of this is coming through, but this is also going to bring forth the purge and the beginning of the purge. And there's this massive purge that's coming in, and I don't have all the details to it. So as information comes into me, I get it in share it now. I get it in cultivate it a little bit, or contemplate. So more information to come. It's kind of like comes in breadcrumbs, and then it comes in pieces of toast, and then it comes in loaves. And when it gets to a loaf, when all of my breadcrumbs are in and all of my pieces of toast, and I get that loaf, and this week was sourdough week, baking week, so I have a lot of loaves, and this is the loaf to share. So when that information more on the purge comes through, I will share that with you. On week 3 is aqua, and there has been so many messages coming through that about the expansion of how water holds memory, and how we can infuse our water and our sips with whatever it is we need to uh, expand through our own vessel, and we're 80% water. So not only that, we can also infuse that same information into the collective water supply. And aqua is asking us to experience peace and calm. So it really takes us into the tranquility, and it wraps us in the divine mother's hug. Because as we expand through the 8th through 15th chakras, chakra number 13 is the divine, universal divine mother chakra, which is the aquamarine ray, which is the aqua, the mother arcs. So this kind of clears through all of the systems in those morphogenetic fields, and it allows us to fully connect with the divine mother. And in that connection, there is so much healing, and there's so much ancient, galactical, and advanced wisdom that's going to be coming through. But this also helps merge the divine mother and the divine father, the masculine and feminine, comes through. And this chakra is about 12 inches below the feet, and it flows all the way down into the core of Gaia. And when you take and you flow through this aqua color, you are flown into the Divine Mother's hug, which is a rainbow diamond light. And so when you get down to the core of the earth, it's just like a disco ball on steroids. And it's like a prism, like you are in the middle of a prism and you are the rainbow light that's shining and glistening and just flowing throughout the entire world. So this is an awesome color. I'm excited to expand more on that as we get into week 3. And the number on this is 33. So that has to be significant. As we get into week 4, we are stepping into the cherry on top. And Cherry is asking us to live an extraordinary life. And this is number 9. And I believe we're into the last week of the month. So we're into Thanksgiving in the US. And this is that really the cherry on top of everything that you have downloaded from the 1111 portal and integrated and rested upon, all of your breadcrumbs and your pieces of toast, that the cherry on the top is your expansion that's going to continue to keep occurring. And you'll be a week or 2 into the purge. And so really this is like uh, finding ways that you are going to move forward in co-creative consciousness in every step and action you take. And it's just like those pops of color. The moment you follow the pop of color, that leads you through to another pop of color, that leads you through to another pop of color, another healing. And so when you kind of place the cherry on top, you are getting to a point where you're authentically living within your own light, within your own pillar, and you are being a pillar for others. And this is just really solidifying for you your soul blueprint when you place the cherry on top and you really start to live your authentic self and live an extraordinary life. You show up and you do what brings you joy. You show up not being anyone else who you think that you need to be. You show up knowing who you are. And that just has so much power. And it's also the power of this color. And so have a Sunday, put a few extra cherries, order a Shirley Temple with lots of extra cherries. If you bake pies, bake a cherry pie. Whatever that is for you, you will know how this connects. But immerse yourself in this color in the last week of the month. I even see like cranberry sauce. Maybe it's a cherry sauce. However, you're going to celebrate yourself and expand in every action that you are living an extraordinary life from the moment you wake up to the moment you lay your head on the pillow with full gratitude that you are going to enjoy this week and you're going to enjoy your cherry on top. Oof. Oh, that's a powerful, powerful week. So each of these will come with a Akashic Reiki color hug that will be put out so you can immerse yourself even further with more divine messages as they come through. And then there was an extra card attached to the cards when I pulled them. And this is going to be taking us into the first week of December, and or this is going to kind of wrap the month up. So it is the color plum, and it's wanting to be heard. And I thought, well, it must not be connected, but it really has been showing up consistently when it comes to the purge that's happening from the 1111 portal through the winter solstice in December. So this is, I feel like this must be, oh, I have goosebumps. This must be part of the purge, but this is an overcoming our challenges. So this color is going to be important in utilizing plum, kind of the pink and the cherry on top, but we're going to be utilizing the plum to really overcome our challenges. And so I don't know fully what this color is going to bring forth, but when I connected to it, I was truly given that this has to do with the purge. And this is a purge of our limiting belief. Oh, big. Okay, here we go. I love when I ask a question in the Akashic Records before I get started or as we're going, asking for the information. And then it's just like, okay, we're ready. Pop of color. We're ready to tell him now. So we're going to just bring in some quantum light language that's going to bring the information to our quantum fields because this may be information we don't quite understand quite yet. So it's going to bypass our regulatory fields. It's going to go directly into the quantum field and it will be stored there and brought through to your awareness as it's needed. And then I will bring through in the most earthly forms that I can to share this information with you. The purge that will be occurring from the 11/11 portal through the winter solstice will be on a collective and an individual level. The purge will not only, it's a bad name for it. It's alchemizing. So the purge is the easiest way to understand how when you're wringing out a washcloth and you're getting every last drop. And this is kind of going to be doing that same reference with our physical bodies, emotional bodies, mental bodies, etheric bodies, astro, plasma, pain, and spiritual. This is esoteric. This is morphogenetic. This is literally going through every layer and layer. And oh, beautiful. So, we talked about the water and how water holds memory. This is going to be kind of a purification more so than a purge. This is bringing forth and wringing you out of any limiting beliefs, um, anything that is holding you back. And then you will be placed within the holy waters and your kind of washcloth, your love rag, whatever that comes through for you, is that you will be placed within the crystalline, purified, holy waters of Christ consciousness. And these are the holy waters of the Divine Mother. And that may come in the form of purification through all of the elements: water, fire, air, earth, space, and time. That your washcloth will be absorbing, receiving the ability to absorb through your pillar of light. Your 1111 is you are the pillar. It's the 12D shield that more information will come about. These are the horizontal and vertical lines, uh, energy lines that speak directly to the morphogenetic fields of the chakras 8 through 15. When your washcloth is placed within, you will be able to bathe yourself in this new frequency. So it's really every cell, atom, nerve, ending. This is beyond form. This is the light body. This is every piece of stardust will be purified. And anything that no longer serves you will be wrung from you. Like you will be wrung out. Uh, and it will be spotlighted. So I see a spotlight over a home and like your pillar of light over the home. And then I see that each area of your home that, this is just an example, each area of your home that needs purging, purifying, or cleansing, needs to be cleaned, organized, decluttered, will be spotlighted. You will just be gravitationally pulled to that area, to that cupboard, to the closet, to clean, clear, cleanse, purify, liberate, transmute, alchemize, and transcend it. And this is drawers underneath beds, cobwebs, bunny, dust bunnies, anything that no longer serves your highest good and you already haven't touched or used, or you're upcycling. You're either upcycling it or getting rid of it and purging it and giving it to another that it may be exactly what they've been looking for. So this looks like a lot of donation-based circle of life. So that is your home, but this is going to be happening not only on a physical level, it's going to be happening physically to you. So the same thing that's going to happen, that you are going to be brought. So I'm brought towards a shed or plastic bins. Christmas. Okay. I'm brought towards uh, marked boxes, bins of decorations, and that they're held for 11 months out of the year for 1 month or a few weeks. And the purge part of it is bringing forth, it's not asking us to get rid of these things, it's asking us to question everything. Why do we do the things that we do? Why, if we don't enjoy decorating for holidays, why do we do it? If we enjoy decorating for holidays, uh, is that joy taking you away from, or is it taking you feel, is there any obligations that you feel towards it? And this isn't just for Christmas decorations. This is for everything that we do is put under the spotlight. I'm taken to the day after Thanksgiving, uh, Black Friday shopping. We're being asked to reevaluate every aspect of our lives. Does it bring us joy? Are we doing it to satisfy another? Are we doing it because it's a limiting belief? We feel like we have to, it's an obligation. And it's asking, this is even Thanksgiving. This is even like family obligations for the holidays. It's a whole like schedule from the 11th of November through the winter solstice. It's asking us to schedule out, go through what we would normally do, and literally change it, change the landscape, change it all to ensure that everything on there is for our highest good and is bringing us joy. And it's interesting because it's showing that asking our kids and our family members and our immediate family what brings them joy, and creating this holiday different from the rest. And that's what we're being guided to do, is that don't do it because it's always been done. Do it because it's what brings you joy, and you have a conscious co-creation connection to it. And maybe it's in lieu of spending weekends putting up Christmas lights outside of your home, and it may not bring your significant other joy or you joy putting them up. What could be done in its place that gives that same joy to you and your family? Maybe it's volunteering at a food shelter instead. Maybe it's decorating someone else's lawn, an elderly member of your community or someone who you know that they haven't had Christmas lights up for a while because they've lost a loved one, or it's rethinking it all, re-looking at it through a new lens, through your a new consciousness, to make this such a magical and memorable season. Uh, and it's alchemizing and purifying all of that. So everything is in the spotlight, and your pillar will shine that light upon it if you are ready to receive and to believe and to see it. So it's really asking, like, if you're not ready, you won't. And it's also, your vibration is so pure in this transition that lots of confirmations to this information. Are you placing yourself in low vibrational situations just to appease others? And you will physically feel when that is happening. And it's just saying it's okay to not do it. It's okay to not host the Thanksgiving. It's okay to not put yourself in those situations if that is not for your highest good and you're doing it just based on obligation. And there's very specific words that just keep repeating, and it's all going to change during this 40 days. 40 days. Correct. 40 days. And it's just saying, don't make it harder than it is. Flow with it, but be open to change it. Maybe you don't do the day after Christmas or day after Thanksgiving, whatever that word, the Friday shopping. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe the dollars you save there can go towards something else. And if you really, when you add up your time and the stress and the anxiety and then the being around all of that energy and vibration, you could probably get those same deals now by doing your shopping online or going to that same store, that the price you pay of your energy will not be worth it. And question, is it a tradition or is it a belief? And is it a tradition that brings you joy, or is it just because it's been done or that's what everyone else does? Ooh, this is like literally breaking through the norm, literally breaking through. This is religious. This is family. This is big. I see why I was not given this fully until now. And I don't have the answers to those questions. Like, I'm asking myself, like, could I not put up Christmas? Uh, Asking over and over again, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you help me with that? The limitations that I might have that I require others to do, is what I'm asking them to do bring them joy? Or are they doing it just because they think it brings me joy? And does it really bring me joy? Or am I doing it just because it's what we've always done? Whew, my goodness. And I know, like, I'm super excited this year about our Thanksgiving plans because they're different. We've hosted Thanksgiving for the last 20 plus years, and this year is different. And it is exactly where I want to be and with who I want to be with, and everyone is excited about that. So we've changed that up, and it's not an obligation, which I can see now why that mattered so much to me. And this came up in a reading for another recently too, is to grab a calendar and change your plans. Go on a vacation for the holidays, or uh, rent a cute little Airbnb near the mountains because you want to have a white Christmas. Like, do this is reshaping everything. And recently, wow, breadcrumbs, right? So I was like, it just came, like, I was just thinking, like, why do we decorate so much for Christmas? And is it specifically because of the holiday? But then when I asked that question within the Akashic records in my powwow with God and the Divine Mother, what came back was that it stopped being about tradition hundreds of years ago, and then it became about bringing color and distraction to the dreary winter seasons. That's what the Christmas lights and the colors, um, red brings action. Red stimulates, and so green is grounding. So there were elements of the holiday season and the colors that are used, uh, Thanksgiving, when it comes to the sacral chakra and the orange, and the emotions and the family, in addition to moving into the holidays. So a lot of it was also to bring color and light throughout more of the uh, seasonal depression that comes along with the winter season. And also, the holidays are really difficult for some who have grief, and that's going to be huge when we're sitting right here in our center, that loneliness and the holidays in general bring that on for so many. And I can think of a handful of people in my life who have lost loved ones during the month of December, and December is always difficult for them. And November, like the holiday season, is very difficult for them. What could we do differently for them this year? Instead of knowing that they have to go through this every single year, and if you are that person, how could December, this holiday season, be different for you? Could we make new traditions? This is a season to make new traditions. This is a season to do what you love and love what you do, and make sure that, ask your children, ask your spouses, ask your family, really truly what brings them joy. And when you hear someone talk about an obligation, or it's because of the way we've always done it, brainstorm with them or ask the question, because the purge is going to bring it for them and either slap them in the head or punch them in the gut and be like, okay, well, this aspect of your life needs to change. And maybe your purge will be different, but this is going to be individually, it's going to be collective, and it's going to be planetary. It's going to be galactical. This is happening universal, and this is shown like cosmically. Like, this is every, as above, so below, as within, so without. But it's like out, every single layer of our morphogenetic field, all of those chakras that we're talking about. The planet has the same thing. The universe has the same layers of energy fields. So does heaven. So does Christ consciousness. So does the Divine Mother. Like, it's all going to be purified. And if you have a better word for purge than pure, because purge just has, it has a strong energy to it, which maybe that's what this needs. For me, we're going into the purifying, alchemizing, transmuting, liberating, and transcending. Well, I now know why this color, plum, to overcome our challenges, has really come up for us as the added color for this month that takes us into the month of December, because there's the bridge from the 11/11, those 40 days, and this was needed. That's powerful. Whew. Okay. That is a lot to contemplate. Um, and to think about it, like when you really start to think about it, we have a shed, and there's really not much in that shed but Christmas stuff, waiting for the Christmas take, the take you have to take down everything in your house and then put up all your Christmas stuff. And the shed has always kind of been an eyesore, and we've moved it around a few times, but the reason we can't get rid of it is because it has the Christmas stuff in it. Or for homes that have attics, the only time that you go up there is to get the Christmas stuff out of the attic. Or your garage, you wanted to clean out and declutter your garage, but then you get box by box by box by box, and it's Christmas stuff, and you're like, oh, I can't do with that. Or it's, for some people it's not Christmas, it's Halloween. Like, when we clear away the clutter of the obligations or the traditions that we feel obligated to keep continuing, this year's going to be, it's going to be a big one. So I'd love your thoughts on that. I'd love your thoughts and contemplation on what that purification time frame from the 11/11 portal, those 40 days and nights, that seems important too. So I'm going to do some more deep dive into that, and I'll see what comes up and what more comes through over the next couple of weeks, and as we transition through that portal and really start the purification 40 days and 40 nights. And I look forward to connecting you with it. Please check out this week's Pop of Color podcast, where we dived a little bit deeper into the morphogenetic fields. We get a beautiful pop of color that takes us through the 13th chakra, which is into the core of the earth, into the Divine Mother's hug, which is the prism, where we kind of sit in that prism and we become the rainbow light. A lot of divine messages came through with that. And then there's an activation of starting to use our alchemical chamber, which is ourself, and how to move that energy and ball of light, and how it really can liberate, transmute, alchemize, and transcend. So there's a beautiful activation that goes with it. It was powerful. And then it led to so many more pops of color that are coming out, so we can explain more about these 8th through 15th chakras. And it blows your mind a little bit when you think past the 7, and then you move on to the layer by layer by layer by layer, just like we have in our Feargiveness frequency, color by color by color by color. And that is just going to be adding more higher vibrational frequencies and colors into our infinity loop. I thought we just had 13, and now I see there is way more. The harmonic convergence, the harmonic universal energy, that takes us through different dimensions that go along with each of these chakras. So this is just the beginning. This is just bringing it into our awareness, into our conscious field, into our quantum field within the quantum light language. And then that information will be pulled down for you when it's right for you. So thank you so much for joining me on this cards, colors, and conscious connection and co-creation as we expand through the colors of November. And so much more came out of that. And then I look forward to seeing you all on the other side of this rainbow. Bye, everybody.